Welcome everyone to the fifth annual Earth Week Summit. We're so happy here at Green Team Academy to welcome everyone. And good morning to you, Nan.
Good morning, Joan. Good morning, everybody. So great to be here. Really looking forward to the Earth Week Summit. It's going to be great.
Yeah, exactly. We'd love to hear from you in the chat. If you'd like to introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining from and any other little happy Earth Day messages that you have. Lori's joining from Boulder. Fifi from Ghana.
Heather's here from California. Hi, Heather.
Nice. We've got Jess. Karsong from Nepal. Krisha from the Philippines. Kathy from San Diego. Baltimore. El Paso, Texas. Lone Tree, Colorado. That's so great. All right. We're so glad that everybody is making it here, and it's so nice to have something wonderful to do for Earth Day. The Earth Week Summit is put on by Green Team Academy. Our mission is to empower everyday people to be the change. So we have two signature programs, and this is one of them, the Earth Week Summit and the International Climate Action Challenge. First, want to just give a big shout out to our sponsors because, as we were saying, we're using all these different platforms, trying to get a bunch of speakers, and it takes some funding to make that all happen. So we really appreciate McCartney Marketing, Boulder County Sustainability, Climate Action and Resilience. I love their thing. They go by Oscar, the Office of Sustainability, Climate Action, Resilience. Green Actioneers, you're going to hear from Dave on the program a couple times, Flight for USA, as well as going to do a program, Denver Climate Action, Sustainability and Resilience. We have our full Metro Denver Day on Thursday, as well as Sheila DeForest, the Omaha Artisans. Nan, thanks for the Central Illinois Citizens Climate Lobby, Colorado Environmental Film Fest, and World's Littlest Book on Climate. That you'll be hearing from them in their talk tomorrow. And also, there's a bunch of people behind the scenes that pulled this all together. So big shout out to our volunteer crew. You'll see some of them popping in and out here. I love that we have, even just in our volunteer crew, we have an international representation, people around the world that are pitching in to make this happen. And if you've just joined us and haven't said hi in the chat, please do. I see we've got Sabaka from Uganda and Patricia, Santo Domingo. So we've already got maybe 8 or so countries joining us already. And that's exactly what we're doing, is this global gathering of change makers. This is incredible. We have around 50 presenters. So our facilitators and presenters. And I just love, so it's not only this slide, it's actually this one too. So we have this whole group of people of all ages, from youth to elders, from people in the US to Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas, all over. You know, when we reach out and ask people about joining us and they say yes, we really honor that, because there's a lot that goes into this. Sometimes they only have a 10-minute presentation on a panel. There's a lot that goes into all of that. So we really appreciate this incredible group of people. We know that a lot of you are already out there doing things. And so we're really happy for you to be joining and not just learning from the speakers, but that we get to learn from you and make those kinds of connections. In fact, we have a Clean Cook Stoves program on our agenda, and it came from one of these sessions where we had a few people who are saying, man, this is a really hard thing for our sisters, our moms, our grandmas tend to have this responsibility for figuring out cooking, and it's gotten really tough now. So it was based on that we set out to make sure that we have a Clean Cook Stove program, and we found people to talk about it. So if there's things that you're doing, things that you want to share, This is our time to learn. All right, we've got Fariel representing from Algeria. This is so cool. All right, so thanks to all of our presenters. And just a little bit about the summit. We're super excited for Shannon Francis with Spirit of the Sun to do the keynote talk. This is going to be starting in 20 minutes. And Shannon is, I think of her as an elder. I'm not sure if she's qualifies age-wise, but wisdom-wise, she has so much to share. She's an Indigenous woman. We'll give more introduction to Shannon and her talk. It's going to be fantastic. That's going to be coming up shortly. And throughout the summit, we have all kinds of different things. We have some free book downloads that world's book, the world's littlest book on climate, the Green Actioneers Guide. You can download both of those. We have our meet and greet networking times. We really like to give the platform to our grassroots leaders. A lot of people, I think, are not getting the attention and the platform. And so that's a lot of what we're doing here is sharing the mic around the world, as well as some experts like Mike Nelson, who's a chief meteorologist, to talk about climate science. And throughout, we'll be sharing our Eco Champion videos. So the ICAC is our International Climate Action Challenge. So our videos have done 1-minute videos, 3-minute videos. So we'll be popping those in now and then. So you get to meet the challengers and get a peek into a little bit more about what we do here at Green Team Academy. And then we also have our partner and sponsor teach-ins. So this is Michelle McCartney's doing one on social media. Dave's doing the one on Green Actioneers, Dave Finnegan. And then we also have Yella and Heather doing one on Flight Free USA. So that's a fun thing that we've added to our schedule this year, is asking partners and sponsors to do a little talk for us. All right, so we're diving into our schedule for today, and I'm going to run through the schedule for the whole session.
We're covering a lot of ground and jam-packed this year, is all I can say.
Yeah, exactly. I know in previous years we did things like maybe this 9 to noon schedule, but we realized that by doing that, we left out some of our friends in India and the Philippines who that timing really didn't work for. So now we have this kind of morning, afternoon, evening when we're talking about Colorado time, Denver time. That's our summit base, so that we can be available in the mornings in Asia or in the afternoons in Africa. So that's the goal with this very sprawling schedule, is that we have events for every time zone that people can participate in. After the keynote this morning, then Kat Haber and I are going to have some fun with you guys. We know that there's a lot of weighty stuff going on, and we want to tune into that, but we also want to have a way to transmute that into something positive. And so our session, it's our instant poetry and peace workshop. So I hope that you will join us for that. And then we'll have our meet and greet. That's more like a Zoom meeting where just everybody hangs out, gets to know each other. You get to come off camera and talk if you want to. All right, and welcome Danelli from Bahrain. This is so cool. And then in the afternoon, we have we take a little break, and then the beginner's guide to taking action. Jenny Nichols has a nonprofit called Go Green Locally, and it's really cool because what she does is they gather information about existing efforts that are already going. So this whole summit is get in there, do something. If you want to make a difference, go do it. And so this idea that there's already groups out there making a difference, she's going to be showing you how to find those and what they offer. And then Kat is also going to be giving a guide to how to calculate your carbon footprint. So if you're not sure where to start, where am I making an impact, then that'll be a great way to figure that out. And then we'll go into the partner event. So Environmental Voters Project, we invited them to do a session here, and they said, hey, we're training people to just jump on the phones and do a virtual training and texting and dialing for voter outreach. So if you've ever been wanting to try that out, you can do that today. All right, and then I'm just going to cruise through the rest of the schedule, not spend too much time. But you can see we have this first block of the day where we have the intro, and the intro is meant to be like this, just conversational, and we're not so jam-packed in what we're doing. We'll be showing some of those Challenger videos starting tomorrow during this time. And then we have the climate emergency science and solutions, caring for our oceans, another networking, green business innovations, faith communities and green teams, another Challenger spotlight, and then our Nature Connect for Bahrain and India. And thanks to Anamika, she just got us in the newspaper and herself for in Bahrain for all the stuff that she's doing and what she's doing with the challenge and Earth Week Summit. So Wednesday is our global stories. We've got people here we're starting with Zambia and Uganda, moving on to Egypt, Italy, and Nigeria. And then when we head over for our clean cook stoves, that's Botswana and Uganda. And then we do our intergenerational climate action with some folks here in the US. And then Lanny and her daughter Zara are going to do a workshop on how to make a compelling 1-minute video. This is part of what we do with our climate action challengers is we ask them to create a 1-minute video. It's been transformational for a lot of people to understand, oh, I can get my message out there quickly. So that'll be a fun interactive workshop as well. Thursday is our Metro Denver Day. This spans 2 slides because we have so much going on here. So we start with our local climate action advocacy. We should have had a more exciting title because what we're talking about is the Denver Climate Protection Fund, which generates $40 million a year that Denver has to spend on climate, and a lot of that on environmental justice-oriented initiatives. Brian Loma talks about a lot of the zero waste initiatives that he's worked on and how to do that at that level. Then we go into the Sustainable Neighborhoods program, a longtime partner with us for Denver and Lakewood. They're now available anywhere. And then these are our sponsor talks with Flying Less and the Green Actioneers program. And then we go into a ton more really fun stuff. This is our Colorado Denver Day still, farming and food justice in Colorado. And then we have the DPS, Denver Public Schools students, talking about how they passed a climate resolution and how you can get your school district or city to do that too. And then we have our 3 more environmental justice sessions. Lucy Molina, Justice is Not Charity, Renee Chacon and Shayna Oliver with environmental justice, clean air and health, and Ian Thomas Tafoya with Green Latinos, community-based research. So having research done by communities and how that can really transform your efforts. And then on Friday, we have our intro. We're now in Gambia with their digital empowerment work with Madeline and Poncelet. This is a father-daughter team that runs the Joko Labs, working on digital empowerment across Africa. Increasing biodiversity, Paul Londri Dongmo in Cameroon, what all they're doing with mangroves and plastics and incredible stuff. Agrivoltaics with Byron Kamenick, then in Longmont, Colorado, building decarbonization with Adrian Horton, who is they're working with the city of Denver on multifamily low income. You've heard of Electrify Everything. That's what we're going to be talking about there. And then the Islet Connect, Dan Diaz. If anybody who here has heard Dan Diaz speak before, this guy is a powerhouse, right, Nan?
Yes, definitely. Dan, great.
Yeah, it's just like this islet, the Philippines is an archipelagic country. So you have a lot of these little tiny remote islands that have a difficult time getting internet access, entrepreneurial businesses. And so that's what they're focusing on. Some really amazing stuff and always a great conversation with Dan. And then Saturday is our last kind of wrap up day. And this is for people that are thinking about participating in our 2024 International Climate Action Challenge. So we have one session for our people that want to be a team and another one that might want to be a mentor, a partner, a coach